Welcome back to A Full English. We're here with Sam.
Hello.
And we've got a guest, Lynden.
Good evening.
Good evening indeed. It's not the evening, but I mean, it might be for those listening.
People in Argentina that are listening.
Somewhere in the world.
Yeah.
Somewhere in the world, it is the evening. So yeah, welcome back. Yeah, we've got Lynden.
Happy to be here.
Have to be.
Feel privileged.
Yeah, no. So it's been an interesting week. We've had some midweek FA Cup replays for those not good enough to win their games, and we've had some weekend footballing action, haven't we?
Yeah, we have. I'm back this week after being described as awful after the
Thanks
Bundesliga
for the kind reviews, guys.
podcast from someone. Not going to name names, Josh, but I prefer not to be called awful. No, but I'm back and still ill, but enthusiastic.
And for the visually impaired, he's looking very good. Very, very good.
For the visually impaired, I rate that.
The visually impaired who you
Which
can't
is everyone.
watch a podcast.
People that have never seen you.
That's
ever.
a shout, yeah. People that have seen you will know you've got dashing looks, Sam.
Can we move on?
We'll move on
please?
from Sam's dashing looks. Yeah, so there was some pretty big Premier League games that went on. We'll kick things off with a few domestic league games. A big one was Leicester hosting Chelsea. That was a pretty big one. That was 2-2. Anything to say on that, Cole?
It was a terrific game. I think Chelsea were massively bailed out by a Rudiger,
A brace,
marauding header into two of them actually. Both of them brilliant goals, especially a second one from the distance out to generate that power was brilliant. But no, I thought Leicester had the better of the game, and I thought Chelsea fortunate to get a draw. And Chelsea at the moment, they look poor. I don't know. I can't see them necessarily pushing up for like a third. Like I think they'll. If they're going to get Champions League, I think there'll be them holding on instead of them necessarily pushing on for it.
Yeah, I think they stitched themselves massively with not bringing anyone in the January transfer window as well, because they need someone to back up
They
Tammy
spent
Abraham.
so long getting that ban
Cool.
overturned,
Did
and
nothing.
they bought nobody when they literally could have bought anyone in the summer.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's like, what are you doing? It's absolutely delusional, and Lampard made that clear. Lampard in his press conference was not happy.
He's
about
clearly
it.
frustrated, isn't he?
Yeah, and you would be.
Yeah, no, but the game itself, 0-0 at half time. Pretty dull first half, not much really going on. And then all 4 goals came in the second half. Leicester had a great chance to actually put themselves ahead with Harvey Barnes. He put it wide, ball put through him by Jamie Vardy. Leicester were unlucky not to actually win that game. They probably should have, on balance, I'd say. Shall we move on to Spurs City? Spurs taking a 2-0 win.
Yeah, no, it was an absolute Man City domination, but somehow Spurs, despite having a lot of defensive problems this year, stood strong. Lloris back in the team, he got man of the match, which is trivial, but
Trivial indeed, yep.
Still impressive. But no, he had a really good game. There were times where he looked dodgy, but for the most part, he had a good game. And new signing Steven Bergwijn popping up with a spectacular goal.
Finish.
Beautiful goal.
It's
wasn't
just typical Man City of late. It's just, doing so much right, but then the things you need to do right, like scoring and, performing as a Premier League club, they're not doing it. They're bottling it.
Yeah,
They are the Liverpool of the season.
They really are. Yeah, no, they are. They're not looking like Man City of old, are they? Far from it, in fact. They don't look brilliant, do they? My favourite part of that game was Mourinho sprinting up to the 4th official after his assistant told him something. Clearly angered him.
That the player was already booked for something else, and he tried to get him sent off. It was absolutely hilarious.
It was brilliant. I love the way the 4th official just sort of steps back. He's like, "Whoa, get out my face." That was a bit of a down point for Man City, dominating the ball typically as they do, but not being able to find that clinical play in the final third, I'd say. Moving on, we'll move on to Watford Everton. What a game that was! Blimey.
That was incredible. That was absolutely crazy. Watford going 2-0 up, of course, and then a Yerry Mina double before.
Theo Walcott.
How many times
Theo
have you said
Walcott.
that? Yerry mean a double.
I know. It's a rare occurrence.
After a double yellow, it's
Yeah.
never really said, is it? Yeah.
Exactly. No, but yeah, an incredible comeback for Ancelotti, who must be proud of. I think, as Brendan Rodgers once said, this team showed great character.
Shocking stuff, Sam. Yeah, no, they look great. They came back. That last goal, I mean, everyone was piling forwards. Ball's put into Moyes Keane. Do you think it was a pass or a shot? I've only seen it once.
Shot.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks a bit dodgy, doesn't it?
shot.
It looks a bit suspect. But he gets the assist either way. And clinical Theo Walcott at the back post to put it in. I know you're a
What
big
a
fan,
guy.
Sam. Yeah.
Yeah, I just quite like him.
That's
got
fair enough.
his autobiography, got a signed
You're a
T-shirt.
secret admirer.
Yeah.
Not in a weird way. You know?
He absolutely loves the man. Yeah. Now, as an Arsenal fan, I've never really rated him, but there we go. I like that you rate him as a player, and he came up with the goods in this game, didn't
his
he?
minutes per goal.
Oh, you
as
always
a-
bang on about that.
His minutes per goal ratio as a striker for Arsenal is actually really impressive. It's just he never got
Underrated.
played there. Exactly,
Yeah.
definitely. He was at Arsenal.
Other than he was always offside, but yeah, sure. I mean,
Scored goals still.
yeah, they were disallowed for being offside.
Calm down, boys.
Let's go.
Getting
a bit
getting
heated.
intense in here.
Let's just chill out. It's not
Yeah.
Sky Sports, the debate. So we'll move on from Everton, Watford, unless there's anything you wanted to add on that particular game, other than Nigel Pearson being out-coached by Ancelotti.
Nope.
Cool.
Thriller.
Absolute thriller in Manila. We'll drop down to the Championship. Leeds again bottling it. It's brilliant, isn't it? It's great to see.
Leeds are falling apart again, and it is beautiful to see. Wigan, who are struggling at the bottom of the league.
He loves it.
Wigan are really struggling, and for them to get away to Leeds, who keep persisting with Patrick Bamford, despite having a striker who's so much better than the Championship that they're not really playing. It's absolutely mad. It's infuriating Leeds fans, and a lot of them actually losing patience with Bielsa, who's been described as one of the best coaches in the world by fellow coaches.
Yeah, it's almost like that stubbornness he seems to show. And I mean, it's typical Leeds, isn't it? They're just going to start bottling it. Really, they got a big game coming up at the weekend, but it's just Leeds, really, isn't it? They do you see them going up?
If they do, I think it will be via the playoffs.
Do you reckon everyone else? Do you reckon it'll only be because everyone else has been so bad and not because they've been so good?
I mean, it's hard to tell, really. It's just if Bielsa stops being stubborn and stops thinking Bamford's a good striker, then maybe they'll get somewhere. But he thinks he's good, and if anything, that's a huge joke.
Brilliant! Wow, you're not a Bamford fan, are you, Sam?
He's terrible.
He's useless.
His expected goals compared to the amount of goals he actually has is absolutely awful. There are like midfielders who have better ratios than him. He's just awful.
Yeah, pretty wasteful, isn't he, as a striker? Which isn't what you really want from a striker. Quite the opposite, in fact, I'd say. That's probably why he never really made it at Chelsea. So
Yeah.
there we
Unlucky.
go. Unlucky.
Win some, you lose some.
Indeed you do.
And he lost.
Indeed he did. A little shout out to West Ham Brighton. Figure which, throw that one in there because why not? Yeah, 3-0. I mean, West Ham bottling it again. I might be completely lying here and tell me if I'm wrong, but I don't think they've beaten Brighton in the league before.
No. That's funny. West Ham can never beat Brighton. That's brilliant. And Glenn Murray, again, proving age isn't the number, mate.
Got a contract out of it, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He scored a
Love
goal,
it.
got a new contract.
That's all you need.
What a hero. I mean, still doing it at the age of 36, I think, I'd want to say. But yeah, no, VAR had a check. It was a long check, but the goals awarded, and
to the infuriation of West Ham fans. Yeah.
I feel a bit for David Moyes.
I really do. Yeah.
I think he'll sort it out. I think they'll stay up. I think they're fine.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The club's in absolute turmoil. We went there on Monday to the great London Stadium.
What an experience.
What an experience. That was absolutely beautiful.
Only experiences you'll get at the University of Northampton, of course.
Plug.
UON.
God. Only the best
Yeah.
from University of Northampton. No, lovely stadium. If you don't want to play football there, in which case you can't see the
Yeah.
pitch.
Yeah. I should have bought my binoculars. Couldn't see anything.
Oh yeah, there was nothing going on, and we still couldn't see anything. Obviously.
Sadly. I don't know why they're singing about always blowing bubbles. You can't see them from the stands.
it's poor, but they're not quite as bad as their club because at the minute they're on a pretty dire run of form. Got nothing going forwards, and defensively they're pretty terrible as well. Robert Snodgrass is carrying them, which says all you need to know, really.
It's all right because they bought Jared Bowen, who's never played in the Premier League before and is a complete risk for like 20 million. But it's all right, he'll sort them out.
Saviour, absolute saviour. The new signing from somewhere in Eastern Europe started. Central midfielder, I can't remember his name. Apparently he looked alright. I'll probably look up his name later and then randomly pop up with it while you're talking about, I don't know, Christian Eriksen.
Cheers, Jeff.
But yeah, so that happened. Incredible content. So yeah, they're pretty much the key games. We'll go on to cup games, shall we?
Let's do it. Let's
I
kick
can't
off
wait.
with Lynden.
Hey.
How
What?
did Newcastle do this week, mate?
Probably the most uncomfortable I've been watching them this season, because it just seems any Newcastle fan will agree with me. Whenever we're on the telly, we are terrible. It's like we just love embarrassing ourselves. We were 2-0 up comfortably away to Oxford and somehow let it slip. But
It's typical, isn't it, really? It's typical Newcastle.
brilliant finish finally from Longstaff from Joelinton. But yeah, the Longstaff goal was it before?
Joe Linton.
Yeah, he
Longstaff
scored
and
second.
Joelinton
Yes.
and ASM.
Yeah.
What a finish! What an assist from Joelinton, just laying it off. Longstaff, the worst of the two brothers, but I'll get onto that later.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Spoilers.
Stay tuned. But, yeah, definitely, it was a brilliant game. Other than the fact they scored 2 screamers against us, and they're Oxford.
Yeah,
But
that free
then,
kick was
yeah.
pretty good, wasn't it? Who was in goal for you? Was it Dubravka or was it
Darlow.
Darlow? It was Darlow,
Yeah.
wasn't he? I thought he could have done a bit better. He was sort of
Yeah.
slow moving across, wasn't he?
Just no wrists at all.
No
Poppadom wrists.
You're missing Elliot. What
Elliot.
backup he was. I actually really rated him.
Me too. But yeah, he's an old man now. But yeah, then we were saved by Alan St Maximin. What a finish that was.
What
Because
a
he was
player.
he was terrible in the
Thing is,
first
it's
game.
really
wasn't he?
embarrassing to say because we're like, oh, what a finish. But it was Oxford. And we should be comfortably beating them, but it was 3-2.
The thing with St Maximin is he could leave like next January,
Yeah.
and Newcastle fans will never forget about him.
I
They'll be
know,
like, remember
he'd
that
be a
guy with
cult
the Gucci
legend.
headband who just used to do step overs for 90 minutes?
You guys absolutely love him, didn't you? I mean,
Drip
yeah.
FC.
Trip FC.
Yeah.
Alan St Maximin. No, yeah. Joe Linton's found his level, so that's good.
Yep.
Yeah, he's found his level at League One, so that's
God,
good, isn't it?
He scored 3 times this season, and 2 of the goals were against League One sides. So,
Impressive.
yeah.
Incredible.
That
Great.
minutes
40
per
million.
goal
That's
in
what
the-
40 million gets you today.
Value for money
Yeah,
right there.
value
what,
for money.
what a player. I mean, he had to go
Oh.
off injured, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
After getting
Apparently he got
getting
broken
his goal.
rib.
Yeah, he looked at it on
Yeah.
the celebration. He got it while scoring, didn't he?
But
Because he was put through on goal and he just pulled up and went, oh no.
he made St Maximin come on.
That's it.
And he won us the game, so...
I think
Joel
it's
That's
Linton
called
masterclass.
insight.
Yeah.
I actually think Joel Linton's been very smart here because he's
Yeah.
clearly like Raven from That's So Raven. You
Yeah.
can see the future,
Yeah.
and see St Maximin's scoring. So I've got
Alan needs to come on. And he, you know,
fakes an injury and just thinks, get Alan and come on. I'd imagine Steve
Yeah.
Bruce just shouting, Alan,
Yeah.
Alan.
Oh my god.
Joe Linton, he can read the future but can't score goals. No, great player. But yeah, no, you ended up winning. So there you go. You're in the next
Thank
round.
the Lord.
Thank the Lord, indeed. The Lord or Alan St Maximin,
Yeah.
one
so,
of the two.
So what we're going to lose to West Brom?
Who cares?
you know,
it's
It's not the point.
Yeah.
Do you know we haven't been to a quarter final in 14 years?
14 years.
Wow.
That's rough, mate.
Stat attack.
Yeah.
Stat attack.
Stat attack. You know, try and stop me. You know. But yeah, 14 years of
Pain.
pain.
It's been more than 14 years for a Newcastle
Suffering.
fan of pain, isn't it?
Yeah, sort of forever, eternity. But you know, one day we'll get taken over, won't we?
No.
What-
Please,
what-
someone, come on, get rid of this fat old man, please.
God, he
Yeah.
was there last night.
Was he?
Yeah.
Wow,
Oh wow,
that's a surprise.
that's
Yeah,
impressive.
he showed up.
With his Sports Direct mug.
Mug, yeah. sat in the mug. They're so
Oh
big.
my
Yeah, he
God.
loves it.
Yeah, but let's move on. Please, can we not talk about him?
Let's
Even though
move
I brought
on.
him up.
We won't. Yeah, we won't. We won't hang around on Mike Ashley for long. We'll go on to the game that myself and Sam went to last night. We went to half of it.
We got there in the 40th minute because we were stuck in Pizza Hut.
Stuck.
Yeah, we were stuck. Yeah, no, it was pretty poor on our part. We just left really late, and we were like, "Oh, what's the best thing to do here? Get a Pizza Hut. Wait half an hour in Northampton's Pizza Hut." But there we go. Got there for half time. Just about got let in, and we saw 2-2. So we're basically waiting for a third leg. Yeah, we were waiting for extra time. We were there for hours afterwards.
We were there for like 2 hours afterwards. Like, why haven't the players come back out?
Yeah.
Extra time started.
Getting dragged out, kicking and screaming by the stewards. Yeah. It was an interesting game. I mean, Rooney ran it. My favourite part of the game was waddled it. No, he was great. My favourite part was when us Northampton fans we got it back to 2-1, and what did we start singing, Sam?
We started singing "You're Not Singing Anymore."
Yes.
Despite still be 2-1 down.
It was absolute shambles. And to all Derby fans out there, we do apologise sincerely for our actions on that night because it was poor on our part.
I mean, it was just a day out for all the people let out of Northampton prison, wasn't it?
A day out on day release.
Day release to Pride Park. Brilliant. We're roasting our own fans. Great. But yes, Scott Pollock came on. That's all people really want to hear.
He ran the show. He ran it. I mean, he had Rooney in his pocket. Most
ran
of the
away
game,
from the ball, but
most of the game he was running away from the ball and looking over his head as the ball was being lofted over.
Yeah,
and he probably touched the ball about 3 times, and they were only so he could get a good picture for his Instagram.
He loves it. Yeah,
oh well.
Keith Curl making the tactical changes that he always does. 3 subs before the hour mark, so that was good. Tactically, he's just an absolute genius. Yeah, bought off our biggest handful up top and bought on someone that couldn't run. So that was good. Yeah, no, we weren't
great. A guy
great.
named after a bread.
Yeah, classic Warburton. What's he like? Sam Hoskins scored, despite being terrible all game.
I love Sam Hoskins because Northampton fans absolutely love him.
I think he's
every
brilliant.
time I've seen him, he's awful. He's basically a runner. He's like Usain Bolt playing football.
Yeah.
He just runs. He has no technical ability. He struggles to kick the football in a straight line. I'm pretty sure there are kids in year 6 who can have more technical ability than him. I mean, come on,
what an insult to a professional footballer.
This is a guy who plays about 5 minutes away from where our podcast is based.
Of an 11-year-old. Oh my god.
Got the height of one as well. No, he's we can't. He scored a penalty, and he scored a cracking volley. I was thinking, Sam Hoskins or Marco van Basten. He was great. He wasn't great. He was terrible.
Yeah,
Positionally, he was awful.
The problem is it didn't go in though. So.
No, it didn't. Positionally, he was awful all game. All of the game that we saw. But yeah, no, that's it. Our Cobblers Cup run comes to an end, and Man United face Derby in the next round.
But at least we can say we saw Rooney play for the greatest club he's ever played for, Derby County.
Yeah. Exactly, yeah.
And who else did he play
the Rams.
for?
Don't know. It's just some American team.
Yeah, the American team.
Yeah, some team some team up north.
He played for Everton as well, didn't he?
Yes, of course. How can I forget?
Wow.
Yeah, now he's at 32 Red FC. So yeah, let's move on from our roundup of the key games onto our first segment of the podcast. We'll move on to Twitter trending. Sam, why has Christian Eriksen been trending on Twitter? Trending on Twitter.
Basically, he hasn't roasted them. He's just been very honest in an interview.
Makes a change.
He basically got asked, "Why did you leave Tottenham?" He said, "Wanted to win trophies." I mean, it's a bit brutal, but it's also the truth.
Arsenal
to be
fans
honest,
all over the country going crazy.
Yeah, I loved it, mate. Honestly, Christian Eriksen's my new favourite player. Genuinely, I absolutely love the man. He came out and said he was a black sheep at Spurs. And the fact that he was winding down his contract made him sort of feel a little bit sort of isolated in the club. And he was brutally honest about it, which, as I said, is something surprising for most players.
I'll rate it.
Yeah, and he said he wanted to move to another country, and then Inter cropped up, and he was like, "Yeah, I need to go there." And now the rest of the Premier League seems to have followed him there, so that's good.
I think as a kid, right, you do dreams growing up. I want to play for Inter Milan with Ashley Young, Victor Moses.
Oh, you love it. Borja Valero, just a West Brom legend.
Incredible.
West Brom legend.
He's got some incredible teammates.
Can't
Yeah,
wait for that
aside from them,
biography.
that's it. Yeah, we really love Borja Valero.
What a man.
But yeah, no, he was brutally honest, and I rate it from him, to be honest. I think even Spurs fans are just like kind of feel sorry for him. I didn't even seem that angry of the few that I saw on Twitter kind of come out.
I mean, they don't care what he says. They're just happy he's gone. To be
Yeah.
honest. I would just like he's taking up wages and he doesn't want to be here. So
We've
see
got
you
the
later.
I think that's sort of like sad how it ended because they loved him for so long and then they were sort of like, please leave.
It's getting a bit awkward now, actually. It's like hanging around
we
too
could have
long.
better players.
Yeah. But you're taking up too many of our wages.
Oh, there's the door.
Yes, see ya. One-way flight to Milan. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, we will pay for it. And it is also the day of birthdays, as it is every day of the year, because people have birthdays on every day. But this is the day of some particularly interesting birthdays. Whose birthday is it today?
We have got a few legends of the game, of course. We've got Ronaldo, we got Neymar, we got Hagi, who used to play for Romania, or Hagi.
Haji, yeah.
Haji.
We'll roll with it.
I can't pronounce
Robert's going
names.
crazy right
He
now.
is.
Oh, Sam!
Straight round the waterside. Sam, what you doing? and Tevez, yeah. But
Yeah,
also
and
there's some others
Tevez.
as well.
And you got some more legends like Billy Sharp.
Who
You
else?
got
Who else?
Jordan Rhodes,
Oh,
I think, is the main one.
What a name.
I mean,
Hook
you
me up
think
on
of, you
that.
think of Jordan Rhodes, and you think of just Scottish quality. Really, you just think of
Does
one-
that exist?
one
No,
of the- one of
so-
the greats of all time. I think.
Prolific.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, definitely
Yeah,
prolific.
definitely.
I think he's. I'm surprised he hasn't been given a crack in the Champions League, to be honest. And and he hasn't propelled Scotland to a World Cup yet. But
Yeah.
now he's a class player. And
That would take an act of God to propel Scotland to a World Cup, to be fair. And Jordan Rhodes is nearly God, but
Yeah.
he's
I
not
mean-
quite.
I mean,
Jesus.
that's quite.
Yeah.
That's
He's the
quite
second
harsh.
coming.
That's quite harsh. They have some good players. They have.
Yeah, they've got great players. Scotland are brilliant.
Yeah, no, moving on.
But yeah, more importantly, happy birthday to them. We
Yeah.
happy. No, we're not going to do that.
Copyright.
Copyright. Copyright claim on a happy birthday song. The state of this. I rate that. Yeah. So yeah, day of famous birthdays. We also got James Milner on Twitter trending. He was the only Liverpool player who's over the age of like 16 there last night, and he wasn't playing. But he was
Old enough to be their dad.
he really is, yeah.
Go on, son.
That's why he was there, yeah, cheering on the son. He's got his first goal away. And they didn't. They scored no goal, Oxford. Cool. It wasn't Oxford, Shrewsbury. Cool.
Guy used to play for United. If I'm
He
not
did.
wrong.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's on loan from them or he used to play for.
He's
them.
their academy product, I think.
Yeah,
And
he's like 20. He's
beautiful header though, but we'll get onto that. But yeah, no, James Milner was there. There in the stands. Nice of him, wasn't it?
I fully rate it, to be fair. While the rest of the players were chilling in Mallorca or
Or
somewhere.
Skeggy. You know, Skegness.
Skegness. See Bobby Firmino wandering around Skegness with a couple of cans of Stella. You alright, lads?
Heard
Oh
Mo
my
Salah went to Aberystwyth in Wales.
He loves it. He loves it.
But yeah, James Milner, I respect him. He'd been training with the under-23s actually recently as he recovers from an injury. But it was nice of him to go watch his new best mates play and beat Shrewsbury.
These kids. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure they took him under. He took them under his wing and he gave a team talk before and after.
I can imagine that was Martin Luther King-esque.
Yeah,
If
I
James
know.
Milner's giving you a team,
He's
so that's
probably
going to
like,
be beautiful.
right, lads, I get the Tetley tea if you win it.
What you got to do, lads? I'm a football in mind here. I'm older than you, so I know stuff. And
I've
what you
been
got to
around
do?
the block.
Yeah. And what you got to do is you got to score more goals than the opposition. So go out there, enjoy yourselves, and I'm going to go and sit and have a pie.
I know what you're thinking. What experience do I have? I played for Villa, all right,
And Newcastle, sorry, just thought I'd
Nice.
slip that in.
and Leeds. Nobody else though.
Man City,
Yeah,
Yep,
yeah,
yeah, but
City
we
legend.
won't bring that up.
Yeah, we hate them now.
But yeah, so that's James Milner. Big up James Milner. Rate him a lot. He's a great guy.
Good player as well, to be
Good
honest.
player, yeah, quite underrated in his boring way. But yeah, it's a bit of a roast. He's actually he seems like a really nice guy. And our last one on Twitter trending is Odion Igalo. Why is he trending?
He's just joined United and he's happy about it.
Yeah, done.
which is actually pretty much why it's on Twitter trending.
That's pretty much it. Yeah, there's not really much news there other than what we know has already happened.
He's
as
been
it
given
goes.
the number 25 shirt, which was previously had by the legend who is Antonio Valencia.
Blimey. Big shoes to fill right there.
I know, and apparently his mum cried when she heard the news. He took a big pay cut to get to United. And,
From a Chinese Super League, anything's a pay cut, though.
Yeah, and
just happy he hasn't got coronavirus. Well, you know, she is happy.
Yeah,
Tears of joy.
I can imagine
Allowed
she's
to leave the
absolutely
country.
elated.
Yeah. And
He's allowed out.
Finally.
And apparently there were parties in the towns where he was brought up and born back in Nigeria. So they are ecstatic that they've got a big player joining a Premier League club. Doesn't matter how big they are, only a small club, but, you know.
Exactly.
A Premier League club.
Who's he joined again?
Exactly. He's a big fish in a small
The
pond.
guy who apparently, I think Rooney had a loan spell with them, maybe? I don't really remember him playing a prominent role for him.
Everton.
I think it might be.
Yeah.
Must be.
Massive club.
Huge. Historically massive club.
Yeah.
So that's Odion Igalo talk. That's pretty much it, isn't he? Do you reckon he'll play?
I think he should. I think he's great. I think he's.
But do you think he will? Like, you think he should, but do you think he actually will play?
Well, Solskjaer's like an idiot, so I'm not really sure.
Brilliant.
Somehow he'll ruin it.
No,
Yes.
he'll definitely play. I mean, if he's playing Lingard, he'll play Igalo. I mean,
Yeah, he'll play anyone, won't he?
He'll literally play like Dave from Stratford if he
Yeah.
needs to.
Yeah,
Just
I can
thinks-
imagine. One of the greats.
Just sees him playing like in the cages with his son and thinks,
just
you could do a shift
I
in
feel
centre
like
mid.
they're screaming out for a Jordan Rhodes.
Jordan Rhodes. They need to bring in Jordan Rhodes and
I think
Billy Sharp, and
they
if
need
they
a
don't...
bit of a British steel
Steel.
into their team.
Steel, gosh.
Oh,
I love that. So that's Odion Igalo, and that is Twitter trending. Let's go on to our lovely section of the state of this. Lynden, were you at the Oxford game by any chance? Because there's footage of a man with his genitalia in his hands. Would you like to...
I wasn't there.
Let's describe it in the least graphic way
I
possible,
wasn't
please.
there, but I felt like I was. You know.
I wish I was.
Yeah, I wish
Yeah.
I was there. It was very explicit.
Very sensual, wasn't it?
St Maximin scored the winner in extra time. And
Sparks limbs, quite literally.
yeah, limbs.
A third
Flying
limb,
all
yeah.
over the place. Yeah. And he's he's run towards the fans, and they're obviously ecstatic. And just to the corner of the screen,
One's a bit more than
one
ecstatic.
is expressing himself in a weird way. He took out his privates and is quite literally windmilling them.
It's
just
brilliant.
In joy.
He loves it.
Yeah.
He absolutely loves it. Is there anything more Geordie
You know,
than doing that, really?
Well,
Indecent exposure, though, isn't it? It's kind of illegal.
Yeah.
I mean, so we'll leave
probably
that.
arrested.
Yeah, but he loved it. No,
I think he started a trend, if anything.
Yeah.
well, let's hope not. Let's really hope not. I beg that he hasn't
The
started a trend
helicopter.
of Geordies exposing themselves.
Yeah.
Well, actually, that trend's been going on for a while.
Yeah.
Though,
Classy.
though people want, lots of people are calling for St Maximin to use that as a celebration
Yeah.
for the next game. I say he does it.
Yeah,
And-
I'm down.
If he don't, then he's a wimp. You know.
He's a wimp.
Be
Yeah,
a man.
Yeah, man up and get your penis out. What you like, eh? If you don't mind, you want to get your penis out, celebrate it like us, Geordies.
Oh my God.
He loves it. But yeah, that was a little bit strange, wasn't it?
Away the lads.
Away.
Away in a manger.
Both of them, yeah.
That's what Kevin Keegan would have wanted.
It is, yeah.
I say what, I'd love it if they beat him. Love it.
I'd love it if you beat it, yeah.
All right, lads.
Yeah, let's
Move
move
Yeah.
on from that.
Please.
Another bit of thing. It's a little bit of a state. It just sort of crops it back up again in the Liverpool Shrewsbury game.
Oh, Archie.
Oh, I
here
don't-
we
I've
go.
Can we get in R?
I've got a
Oh.
I've got a bone to
Yeah.
pick, lads. I'm sorry.
And
I've
we don't
got
talk about the Newcastle game.
yeah, no.
The floor's yours, Senator.
Yeah, I've got a bit of a bone to pick. It's non-penis based, and
I love the fact we got to clarify that.
Yeah.
we do just in case
For
you
the
think
audience at
we're
home.
doing anything weird in the studio. We're not.
Move on,
We are fully
move on.
clothed.
Yeah.
Trousers on.
Probably. Yeah. Anyway, it's a bit of a VAR. I know VAR based. Not rant. I don't want to rant about it. It's just a little bit annoying, really, because Liverpool Shrewsbury game. Shrewsbury could have gone one up if VAR wasn't in place, because shot sort of comes in, hits the post, comes back out, and they put it in. But as that first shot comes in, he's offside. Fairly marginally, but it's offside. But the lino hasn't given it, and if that's at Shrewsbury, that goal counts and they score. So it's just the disparity between the two. Sam, you said before the podcast you don't care. I rate that. Linda, what do you think about it?
Just VAR, isn't it? There's been so many cases this season of just it killing the game.
Yeah.
Imagine if they would have went 1-0 up away to Liverpool.
Well, there's someone threw a flare on the pitch only
Yeah.
for it to be disallowed. I mean, it's poor, really,
It's
isn't it?
scenes, but they just like.
It's very anti-limbs, I'd say.
You say if it's at Shrewsbury that it's a goal. Well, it's going to be a different liner who's probably better at his job, hopefully.
That is true. That is true. It would be the same officials either way. But yeah, sure. No, it would have counted that goal at Shrewsbury.
Okay.
It would have. If it's a different ground, it would have counted.
Yeah.
It's also a different situation though, and it's a different pitch. It's a whole different environment that might have sparked a change of decision. And maybe the referee had seen it.
Okay, yeah. I mean, he wouldn't have, but yeah.
And how do you know it would have been given?
Because if it's the same officials in the same scenario without VAR, we're not moving the players, we're just removing the VAR. Then if you remove VAR, they score. The goal counts.
Okay.
So yeah, that's the only point I have to pick about it. Is that it's different for each game. There's some games that have it, some games that don't, and how you can have one rule for one game in the same competition as another baffles me, to be honest.
Sure.
But there we go. Cool. Got that out of the way and done with. Thanks, lads. I guess we better get on to Wonder Kid Watch now. We've had that lovely little rant.
Ooh, we're going to start off with Lynden.
We're going to start with Lynden off his pointed at
Starting
Sam.
off with me. Yep.
Who have you gone for, Lyndon?
I have gone for, unbelievably, you wouldn't have guessed I've chosen this. The one and only Matty Longstaff.
Who are the lads?
Oh, shock from a
Up the
Geordies.
tune, yep. Personally, I think he's better than his brother Sean, who broke in last season. He's scored.
Broke in.
Wow, what to a Sports Direct?
He is
Wouldn't
from
surprise
Newcastle.
me. He's a Geordie. Yeah.
Stealing those mugs.
Yeah. And Greg's.
not yeah. Cool.
But anyway, yeah, he broke through last season.
Ooh.
Sean did. But yeah, Matty broke through this season, and I personally think he's been better. He's scored twice against Man United, home and away. But yeah, I just feel like he offers so much more technical ability, and being 19, I feel like he's got a big future ahead of him. He's currently on £800 a week,
Wow.
and he's in negotiations with the club, and he's asked for 25 grand, which I don't think's that bad considering he plays every week. He's a first team player, and they've said they don't want to pay it. They don't want to pay him 25 grand.
Oh, Mike.
And
Mike.
Inter Milan and AC Milan are interested in him.
Oh.
Yeah.
Reportedly.
Yeah. I am, not his agent, but
If I was, I'd get him a better deal.
yeah, I would. But yeah, he's got a massive future ahead of him. Can see him playing for England one day. You laugh at me all you like,
No, I think
I
it's
can
fair.
see it. Yeah.
I laugh if you want.
Yeah.
If you'd rather
Please.
me.
on the edit. Cue laughter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Audience laughter like we're friends or something.
No,
Yeah.
he's a great player. He's better than Sean. Sean's a bit useless.
Wow.
If I'm honest.
No.
That's harsh.
I think he's massively overrated.
Do you really think so?
We've priced
Sean
him out.
turns up on Sky Sports whenever you're on
whenever
Sky.
we're
It's a
on
great
telly,
game.
He plays well. But no, I feel like there's just better players. Why would we sign Ben Taleb on loan if we already have the players that can do it in that position?
So you could play a midfield three in the cup of Longstaff, and Ben Taleb.
Has there been a better midfield?
Ben
I
Taleb
don't
definitely
think so.
turned up at the club, looked to his left and thought, why am I playing next to two ginger blokes who look like they belong in like I don't know, like a school? They do look
Or a
old
Harry
enough
Potter
to
film.
Yeah, Harry Potter film. Yeah.
But yeah,
Both very Ron
Just,
Weasley, aren't they?
Matty Longstaff, watch this space.
Watch that space,
Yeah.
indeed. There will be a space after he's gone to Milan. It's unfortunate, really, isn't it? Where would you rather play, Newcastle or Milan? That's the question.
Newcastle.
One's a
every day of the week.
city. One's a city full of culture and history, and the other one's
It's
Milan.
flags.
There we go.
And
Yeah.
Tiger.
Yeah. There we go. Right, shall we crack on with Sam? Who have you gone with?
I've chosen Brighton central midfielder Alexis McAllister.
The most confused name on the planet. Yeah.
And I've chosen him. He's in the news a lot at the moment because he's been Brighton's player since January 2019. They haven't been able to get they bought him for around £7 million, but they haven't been able to get a work permit for him until recently. And but he's been out on loan to Boca Juniors in the Argentinian league and performing really well for them. So much so he's got Argentina call-ups and played for the national team with Lionel Messi. But no, he's not good enough for Brian.
No Trossard, is he? Eh?
No. As soon as
Daly proper or Davy.
Davey.
Davey,
And but as soon as they found out they could get him, they paid £600,000 to Boca to recall him. And yeah, he's an absolutely brilliant central midfielder. He's 21 years old, and he's kind of like a box-to-box midfielder who scores a lot of goals. Recently, at the moment, he's playing in the Argentina for Argentina in the under-23s tournament, and in the last game scored 2 goals for them, and is playing really well, and is expected back. All the tournament ends at drum roll please, the 9th of February. But then afterward, he has to have a week off, so he'll be available around, like, can't do maths, the 17th of Feb or 16th of Feb for Brighton, and I think he'll definitely help there.
What does he offer them?
He offers some goals. He's actually really good defensively as well. He's a brilliant box-to-box midfielder, but he's very good scoring. He's been compared to players like Nicolo Barella.
Matty
I
Longstaff.
like him.
Maximilian.
Only the best.
Maximilian Eggestein, who plays for Werder Bremen, who are doing very well this season.
Indeed they are.
And Zielinski, who's at Napoli.
I like him. He's a good player.
Yeah, he's been compared to the likes of those. And yeah, he will slot into that midfield. Davy Proper's been really consistent recently.
I like him.
So if he fits into a Stevens, the defensive role, McAllister kind of box to box, and then Pascal Gross or Aaron Moy occupying that central attacking midfield role, and I think he'll help them stay up. And his energy and his determination and drive is something they really need. Quite honestly, they're facing a relegation battle.
Yeah, well, I'm sure he'll do great in the Championship next season. So I'm sure he'll start week in, week out.
I honestly think he has the quality to keep them up.
Really?
Not necessarily on his own, but I think they've also got other players. I think Gross is fantastic.
Yeah, Gross is a good player.
I think that Morpie is decent.
Morpie's
And if
I'll
they
be
get relegated, he's amazing in the Championship anyway.
There you go, yeah.
But I think he could help keep them up. Trossard's been a bit hit and miss, but
he's great on
should-
FIFA.
Yeah, he's got a special card, so that's what matters.
He's a
Objectives
good
cards.
player. I think, and their defence is brilliant. I mean, they've got such a line of centre backs. They got Dunk. Duffy doesn't even get in the team.
No, he doesn't anymore,
Which
does
is
he?
crazy.
Webster.
He's a great centre back.
Exactly. They got
Webster's
Webster, who's
keeping him out,
great.
hasn't he? Yeah.
They got Ben White out on loan at Leeds, who's playing CDM at the moment. Who's been really good there. They got Clark, who's Matt Clark, who's on loan at Derby, who we saw the other night, who looks really good. And yeah, I think Brighton will be fine. I think they've got a long-term Premier League future.
Well, there we go. Let's hope so, eh? Right then, are we all good to move on from Alexis McAllister, who kind of sounds half Argentinian, half Scottish? He's got part Scottish.
He's got Scottish heritage, yeah.
I was going to say that makes sense with the surname. Well, I'm going to discuss a man who's been compared to Ronaldo. He has been
by Archie
by myself. No, someone compared him to Ronaldo. Who was it? It was someone. Can't remember who.
It was Kevin Corbett. It was
Kevin.
Archie's dad.
shout out, Kevin. Yeah, he's been great this season. We got him for £6 million. In the league, he's played 14 times, scored 3 goals. Europa League, he's got 3 goals and 3 assists in 5 games. And he just sort of burst onto the scene. When we signed him, I was kind of sort of bought him from the Brazilian 4th division, who the hell's this bloke? And he's come in and he just sort of forced his way into the first team by coming into the team in the Europa League, playing so well. And he's just explosive. He's got good energy. He's always sort of hassling and harrying the defenders. He's got an eye for goal. We've seen that much in the FA Cup particularly. And he just looks really good. He's only 18. Real Madrid are already sniffing around, so we probably won't have him for next season. So we're just going to appreciate it while it lasts.
Definitely.
Yeah. If he's young and Brazilian and good, Real Madrid will take him away from you. And he's just been great. He's offered us a more of a positive than we've had for the majority of his season, which has been an utter disaster, as we sit 10th at the minute. But I mean, hopefully he can cement his position at the club, and hopefully he's not. I like him out wide. He plays quite a bit up top, but I like him more out wide just because of his energy that he brings, and that doesn't limit the likes of Lacazette and Aubameyang getting up top. But no, I think he's got a long future.
Do you think Arteta will build the team around him?
I really hope so.
Yeah,
I'd love him to. I think if we were to lose Aubameyang or Lacazette or both in the summer, then I think we just this kid's the future. Let's go with players that will complement his style of play. And I think that if we were able to bring in someone that was able to do that, because we've already bought in this centre half from Flamengo.
Mari is his name.
Mari, thank you very much. I was going to call him Mina. I was like, we haven't bought him in. He only just scored twice. But yeah, no, we've bought him in, and he's already said he's been incredible in training. Mari said that about Martinelli. He's been there for like a matter of days. And I just think he's got such a way about him. He's carried himself perfectly since he's been at the club. He scored that absolute wonder goal against Chelsea. I'm calling it a wonder goal. He ran in a straight line. But it was brilliant. I went absolutely mental, absolute limbs. But I think he's great. He's a really good player. Got a long-term future, whether it be at us or Real Madrid. I just want to see him do well. Because the fact that Edu's managed to drag him out of the Brazilian 4th division and into a starting...
Drag him sounds a bit...
It does sound like he's kidnapped him, doesn't he? Yeah. Well, it's a nice kidnapping.
Just when he was asleep, just... Come on, lads.
You're coming with me. Yeah. Now you failed trials at United. You're coming with me. He's a great player. And I think he has a long-term future, hopefully English football and hopefully for Arsenal.
No, definition of a good player is if you can run in a straight line and score against Chelsea.
Yeah. Well, there you go. That is the proof in the pudding, isn't it?
Hoskins. Yeah.
Is he any Sam Hoskins? That's the question. I don't know who I'd rather. This is the problem.
Neither do I.
Yeah, Real Madrid are tossing up between those two. So
both can run.
Both can. Both can run, and that's about where the comparisons stop. Shall we go on to our predictions now? We finish with Wonder Kid Watch.
Yes.
Cool. Shall we kick things off with Everton versus Crystal Palace?
Sure. Should we go to Lynden first?
What a fixture.
Well, we'll put it on the guests first. Who are you going with?
Palace.
What's your score prediction?
I'm gonna go 2-1 Palace because I think they've got a good record on the road this season, and Everton, I don't know. I feel like they're just too inconsistent for me. They'll show really good. They'll show some really good quality, and then they'll just slip up. Quite like how Man United have this season. They look like, oh wow, they're gonna turn it around, but then they don't. But Palace, I'm seeing Jordan Ayew playing well, and I'm going to go with. Did I say 2-1?
You did say 2-1.
Yeah, 2-1. Definitely 2. I know that.
Definitely 2. Yes, he's good this one.
2-1.
Yeah,
right, Sam,
I'm going to go. I'm going to go for a draw. I think Everton, they haven't been great, but the resilience they showed against Watford, who are actually one of the form teams at the moment, and their willingness to fight back shows that they've got something about them. Though I don't think Ancelotti necessarily has been playing the right team. Last match against Watford, he started with Delph and Sigurdsson at centre mid. One of them, Delph, is not great, and
probably a better left back.
And Sigurdsson has no defensive work rate. So it depends on the team he plays. But I personally think that Everton, despite they won't.
On there, Lynden. Oh, well. Places to be, have we?
Yeah.
Just getting signed up by Copper 90 after this doing the interview. But I'm
I'll turn them down.
Oh, good man. For us, yeah.
I can see it being, I'd say, a 2-2 draw, and I can see a lot of things. I'm not blind.
Yeah. When you got your glasses on. When you don't, there's another.
Yeah. I think Palace are in good this year, but 2-2 because they don't have Delph.
Fair enough. I'm going with Everton 2-1 win. I think early kickoff, I reckon Everton being at home is going to help, obviously. Everton are unbeaten in their last 10 Premier League meetings with Crystal Palace. They've won 4 and drawn 6.
Stat-sack.
You're welcome. They kept a clean sheet in their last 3 of those games. Again, Statman Archie over it. I reckon Everton will beat them. I fancy their chances at Goodison. They'll probably win, score more goals than the opposition. So there we go.
That's football, ladies
and
gentlemen.
That, my friends, is football. Football's always the winner.
Brighton,
Sorry,
Jimmy Ballard.
Brighton. Bulldog, what a hero.
Yeah.
Right, Brighton versus Watford. Lindog, what you got? Late kickoff, 5:30.
3-1.
Ooh.
I'm just going to say it. Nigel Pearson, he's got them ticking, ladies and gents. He has got them playing football how it should be played. I don't need to say any more. 3-1.
Good man. I like that from you. Cal, what you going with?
This is a tricky one. 2-0 to Brighton.
Ooh.
Do you want to fight me?
Gasps from the crowd.
I say this because Brighton, they haven't been informed. I think this is the game that kickstarts their season. Yeah. It really is. Pearson's gone playing really well for the start. That he's got the style of football that kind of suits Watford and accommodates Deeney. You know, just a really. I can't describe it really.
It's just satisfying.
Satisfying. A combination of Barcelona and Burnley, which is
an interesting blend.
Just a lovely combination. But despite Pearson having his team play well, I think this is the game where Potter really inspires his team, gets them going, and I could see Brighton winning this 2-0, and Brighton also have an amazing defence, or have a lot of quality in that defence, and if Charlotto starts, which he should, I could see him winning 2-0.
Fair enough.
What about you,
I'm going to
Archie?
attack you with some more stats, lads. So I know. Get the protection on.
I'm ready.
So Brighton, they're looking to secure their first league double over Watford since the 1990-91 season when both teams were in the second division. Watford have lost just one of their last 7 away league games against Brighton, 1-3, drawn 3. I see Watford drawing with Brighton, 1-1. I'm going to go in the middle ground between you two. Oh, I know, No, I'm not very conservative. That's just
we are not talking about political
That's a different
opinions.
podcast.
Oh no, it wasn't politics, Sam. It wasn't politics at all. You've just taken it that way. I don't know why you have to do that.
Relax.
Why do you have to do that? God, getting all up in my grill. What are you like? From a less conservative point of view, I reckon it'll be 1-1. That'll be it. Basically, 1-1. All good in the hood.
Thank you for that analysis.
You're welcome, lads. You're welcome. Happy to help. Sheffield United, Bournemouth. Who you got, Lynden?
Oh, this has got a draw written all over it. 1-1.
What do you think?
Eddie Howe. I feel like he's really waiting for the summer to revamp his squad. I think you'll see the likes of King go,
or he'll get sacked. One of the two.
No, honestly, I don't think they'll sack him. I think they'll wait to the summer. And
to sack him.
To get rid of him. No, just to start again, really. But I think he's, away to Sheffield. They've been on red-hot form this season. Probably my favourite team of the season.
They've been brilliant.
They have. But 1-1.
I like it. What are you going with, Carl?
Well, Eddie Howe is waiting until the summer to really revamp.
Is there an echo?
I think this has got a Sheffield United win written all over it.
Wow.
No, on a real lie, I do think Sheffield United will win. They've been really good this year. Bournemouth haven't. They've shown signs of rejuvenation is the word, and
It's a good word.
But I think that Sheffield United, they've brought in some good quality in the transfer window. Sander Berg is
what a signing!
Is just incredible signing. How they've attracted him. The Sheffield United fans love him already.
They loved that clip of them.
He's an absolutely fantastic player, and I think it only adds to the quality of their midfield of John Fleck and Ollie Norwood.
Doesn't get better than that.
But no, I see 2-1 Sheffield United. I think the steel that is a word I'm going to bring up again, that they have at Sheffield. I think that not Brighton. I think Bournemouth are a bit lightweight this season. They don't look great, and Howe hasn't necessarily been getting the best out of his squad. So but he should be sacked. If they sack him, they're stupid. Because
He's built a culture there, isn't he?
The stuff that he's done for their club, even if they gets relegated 2 years in a row, I shouldn't sack him.
Yeah, even if they go out of business and they can't pay
never
anymore, just keep
sack
him. Yeah.
But 2 on Sheffield United.
Fair enough. I'm going in a similar vein to you, Sam. I'm going with a 2-0 win to Sheffield United. I don't see them necessarily conceding because I think defensively they're pretty solid. And I don't see Bournemouth scoring, hence why I don't give them any goals. Another stat, I know, you're all waiting with bated breath for another. I know, I'm treating you all today. Sheffield United have lost just one of their 15 previous league meetings with Bournemouth. They've won 9 and drawn however many else. 6 would be the answer to that particular question. Yeah, I'm going with Sheffield United. As you say, they've been on great form. I don't see Bournemouth particularly, coming back from their poor run of form in this game, maybe further down the line. I do see Sheffield United taking this one just because of how good they've been all season. I just can't see them slipping up at home, particularly to a team like Bournemouth. Not that we give them no chance, it's just little chance.
Yeah.
The last of the Premier League fixtures coming up this weekend is Man City versus West Ham. It depends which West Ham team will turn up. 4:30 kickoff on a Sunday. Who you got, Lynden?
It's two sides both looking to improve on their last displays. I think both the managers expect a lot more from their teams. Guardiola will definitely not be happy to lose 2-0 in a game which they dominated against Tottenham, and David Moyes will be looking for his defence to not leak as many as they did in such a way against Brighton. So I think both teams will play a lot better, but I think it's 2-1 to City for me.
I like that from you, Lynden. Who are you going with, Cole?
I'm going in Man City. Normally when Man City lose a game, the game after they absolutely batter the team they play. So, and I like Moyes, who saved West Ham, but this isn't the game to do it, and they're going to lose 5-0.
5-0. Ooh. Fair enough, mate. Yeah, no, City will win 3-0, I reckon. I don't really see West Ham scoring. They don't offer a lot going forwards, typically, unless the Robert Snodgrass masterclass is in order. But yeah, no, City should, as you say, bounce back and take this game fairly comfortably at home to a struggling, it's safe to say, West Ham side. City typically run up the score against West Ham. Should we go on to the rest of the Football League? We've got a Championship League 1 and League 2 game that we're going to predict. We got the first one, Forest Leeds, bit of a clash up at the top of the Championship. Who are you going with, Lynden?
I'm going to go with Forest at home. I can see Graben masterclass.
I like it.
2-0.
2-0.
Yep.
Good man.
That's it.
It's a big game for both sides. Both of them are coming off losses, and both of them are making that push for their automatic promotion. With Leeds trying to hold on to that space while Forest are very much pushing for it. So I think it might be quite a cagey affair. Hopefully Bielsa, I say hopefully, I hope he doesn't, but Bielsa, for Leeds fans, hopefully he'll learn and play at Augusta instead of Bamford. And their other new signing, who's like Pervader, I think. A lot of them are calling for him to start. But
just not Bamford.
Anyone but Patrick. Yeah.
Exactly. So I think it'll be. I could see it being a cagey affair, and I'm going 1-0.
You nicked my score, Sam. I was going to go 1-0. Yeah, no. Yeah.
You can still go 1-0.
I know. I can. It's not illegal.
It's not a raffle.
Yeah, no. I'm going to go 1-0. As you say, both teams not coming off great games. I don't see neither bouncing back to beat each other. Leeds just a bit too inconsistent, and yeah, 1-0 for me. Peterborough versus Oxford. Lynden, you can give us probably the most insight on this particular fixture.
Don't get your hopes up.
No, I'm pinning it all on you, mate. Our League One correspondent.
A few weeks ago, I thought, at the start of the season, I thought Peterborough were going to get promoted, first or second. I could really see it. And then, for some reason, they just dropped off a few weeks ago, and it was loss after loss. But recently, they've really picked up form, and Ivan Toney is really coming to his own. And I can really see him grabbing 2 or a hat-trick this weekend. And some of the young players they've got coming through, Ferguson loves to use them, Ricky J. Jones or Harrison Burrows. I think, honestly, I really can see a battering against Oxford, even though they did play well against Newcastle last night. I'm going to go 4-1 to Peterborough.
4-1, wow.
Yeah.
Sam, what are you going with?
Well, as Lynn said, Peterborough started well and dropped off, but it's almost it's most years now where they've started really well, and then they've kind of dropped off as it's come to the end of the year and the start of a new year. But Peterborough in 3rd, Oxford in 8th. But Oxford are only 5 games, 5 points behind them, and have 3 games in hand on them. So Peterborough, despite being 3rd, all the teams below have loads of games in hand. Yeah. So it's worrying that they might drop out of the race. But yeah, Ivan Toney has had Premier League interest, Championship interest. A lot of teams are looking at him. Former Newcastle, if I'm right.
God knows why we let him go. Let's move on.
Poor choice. Poor choice.
Former Newcastle scored a lot of goals this season. They've let go of Marcus Maddison to Hull as a replacement for Bowen. That could be a huge loss for them. But yeah, Oxford coming off the Newcastle game which they lost. It's they didn't disgrace themselves, did they?
No way.
They took a Premier League side to extra time, which is brilliant. And got a replay, and that was in the replay as well. So I think that's really good. So I think they might come in with like a bit of a fire in their bellies, and I think Oxford will win this 2-1.
Well, I'm going to go a 2-2 draw. As you say, Ivan Toney's been scoring for fun for Peterborough. But yeah, as you say, Oxford coming off of a fairly, didn't get battered. They had a fairly positive result against Newcastle despite being dumped out the cup. Yeah, I could see them coming back in with a renewed sense of confidence, pushing for those playoff positions. And I can see them not necessarily being beaten by Peterborough, but I also don't see Peterborough winning, hence the draw. Yep, 2-2 for me. Shall we head down into League Two? Which game we picked for that, Lynden? We're going with Colchester Plymouth. What's your
I'll
insight
be
on
honest,
that?
don't know a thing about either of the teams.
Oh,
Not
well.
a massive League Two fan, but having looked at both teams' recent results and positions in the table, I think Plymouth would love a win away to Colchester, so I can see 1-0 Plymouth.
I like it. Cole.
Colchester are home side, aren't they? Am I right? Yeah.
Yes.
And they've been kind of in a rough patch of form. Only got 2 wins in their last 5 games, of course.
Surprised that they're on quite an unbeaten run. Prior to that.
Yeah. While Plymouth are in automatic space in 3rd, and they've been in form. They lost 5 games, got 4 wins and a draw. Of course, the draw a 2 to Crawley, who are not doing brilliant this season. So that was quite a surprise. But yeah, so it's League Two is quite unpredictable. But I honestly can see a Plymouth win. They're 1 point behind second. They've got a game in hand on them, who are Crew. So they I don't know. It could go either way. It definitely is. But I think Plymouth will win 2-0.
Fair enough. I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw. Colchester, one of the better teams in the league defensively. Haven't conceded too many goals, but Plymouth, as you say, fairly high flying. So I can see Colchester at home not necessarily shipping goals, but Plymouth not necessarily scoring them again. Hence the draw. So that's all of our predictions done.
And before we end, if we're going to start a tradition, Lynden, what is your favourite item of an English breakfast?
Oh yes, throwing him in the deep end here,
can't do
Sam.
that to me.
Blimey.
It depends. If I'm at home, it's probably a sausage, because ignore the innuendo.
Very relevant for
My
this
mum
week.
loves a good sausage. Ignore the innuendo there, but yeah, Mum used to work in a deli, so she knows a good sausage when she sees one, I guess you could say.
Hence why
But
you're here.
If I'm out, it has to be the bacon. I'm a simple man.
Simple man.
I like a pig.
That's fair enough, mate. I like.
And
the
on that
choice.
note,
and on that note, no. Thank you very much for listening, Lynden.
Thank you.
We'd like to thank you for coming along and being great on the podcast. It was brilliant.
I
Probably
know.
you were great.
No, it has been a pleasure. Yeah.
That's good. There we go. Right.
yeah, thanks for listening, guys. Make sure to check us out on social media, on Twitter, which is...
Oh, it's at a clear and orb pod while Sam's choking in the corner.
And we've all got our own socials. Sam Cole 2468. Lynden, what's your Twitter?
I don't know my Twitter, if I'm honest.
Just look up Lynden
Just
Dixon.
look up
Lynden
Dixon.
Allen
You'll
Dixon.
love me. You will love me.
There we go. And I'm at Arch Corbett. So go drop us all a follow, because we need
And if
it.
you don't, Edu will come and kidnap you. Yeah. So yeah.
Fair enough. There we go. On that bombshell. No, thank you very much. Thanks for listening and goodbye.
Bye, guys.
See ya.